Good morning to you all. I'm here to bake some really healthy bread for you and with you. I invite you along. So what we have is two different bowls. One is savory and one is sweet. So one is for, let's say, lunch or snacks, where you want a bread and a salad, and you want to call that easy, but you also want to call it well-rounded. And in this case, one might argue that it is quite well-rounded because you'll have some legumes in this salad. You'll have some, some peas, some beans, all those good things. Lots of nuts and spirulina and a bit of chaga, apricot kernels, which are apparently the rave and really good for us. Lots of antioxidants, lots of omega-3s, Sometimes we get looking at, protein, and this is true, but it's amino acids that are at the base of that help us to build nice glowing skin and muscles and hair and all those things that we want to make us feel good and be able to operate good. Well, so 3 eggs per bowl, and give them a good whisk. And then what I have set aside is some melted coconut oil, which is the be-all and the end-all for the insides of our body, for our brain development and cognizant abilities in life, and for keeping those up. 3 tablespoons each, so 3 eggs, 3 tablespoons of coconut oil. It's that easy, my friends. Like so. If you're not much of a baker, my friend says, Susie, I'm not a baker. So I make them for her, and she's going to come by and pick some up. This is about a half a cup of my protein flour that I'll tell you more about some other time, but legumes and peas and spirulina and lots of good things. So half a cup in one and half a cup in another. And inside this, we have a little bit of salt, whatever, a dash, right? Like, I think in my case, it's about a half a teaspoon per bowl, and 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder to leaven the bread. And I had a bunch of 20-year-olds here on the weekend, and I loved every minute of it. And I fed them up good, I hope, not just my husband and I. And they looked at my utensils, and I have a real fetish for really unique and old fashioned utensils in the kitchen. And, one of the fellows, I think I can say his name here. If you're watching, it's you, Curtis, of course. But Curtis says, oh, come on, are these for like show, or do you actually use all these? And of course, he tried to, by the end of the weekend, find one that I didn't have a use for because, of course I have 3 rolling pins, and of course I have, I don't know how many countless wooden utensils. And what was fun was every single one he chose, I was able to defend and state its purpose, which became quite a joke with us all. So give those a little stir. And what I like is this morning when I did up my little spices ahead of time for you, I used this utensil, which I think you would find quite unique. And if you can look closely enough, it's quite beautifully carved. My nephew carved this for me at the Gut in Cohill, which is a nearby site that is lovely to spend time at. And I use it to stir my little things. So anyway, in the savory one, we have turmeric, which is great for anti-inflammatory results, and some basil and some oregano and some jerk spice, actually, so to make it a little spicy. So that's what's going into the savory portion of our bread today. And into our sweet one is really just about 3 tablespoons of, this is a maple sugar that I bought somewhere, so it's reduced maple syrup. So I put about a teaspoon per loaf. And in this I have pumpkin spice and some cut up fresh ginger and what else? I think that's it. That's it, yeah. And for me, I love dates in my sweet one. And I like just a little hint of salsa in the savory one. So what I'm going to do, those folks, is put those in some wiped down and oiled pans, gonna go in the oven for 10 minutes. What we're gonna have is about 6 loaves of bread. That makes about 12 servings. And they're the modern day Pop-Tarts. So wanna know more, give me a call. Okay, thanks, bye.